I need to make money. I need to save enough so that I have enough for the rest of my life. I can't afford it. I don't have enough money. How am I going to survive without money? Does that sound familiar? It does to me. I have lived under that spell most of my life too. I know not everybody is under it, thank God, but most people are. And most of us, we are driven and we find a job or an expression. It may be our deepest gifts and what we love to do and what we would do without pay. And yet, we need money. We need to make money. So the drive is that we need to go out there and make money. That's what we are born into. That is one of the lies that we have all lived under. And I'm not denying that we need some kind of exchange so that everything keeps running. I'm not saying that money is bad or the root of all evil. Money itself is fine. It's a method of exchange that could work really well if we are not focused on the money as if that is our savior, as if that is our God. So we need other people who have money so we can get that to pay our bills and survive and have enough till the day that we take our last breath. I better get off my soapbox here. This has really been percolating in me for a long time. I have been talking about it here before, but it's something that is so not true in the way we are living it. And I really want to invite us all to have some kind of a shift in perception or in consciousness around it. So it's not about the money, I need to make money. No, what we need is to have a flow where things just fulfill themselves. And this may sound a little out there, maybe it's pie in the sky for some of you. And I understand that when we are so stripped down and so strapped down that we live maybe from paycheck to paycheck and we do not have enough. It's not easy to really hear what I say. So please bear with me. This is not by any means a criticism or a judgment to anyone. What it is, there's an energy in me that just wants to bust that belief that we have all bought into. And because we have all bought into it, we are feeding this spell, this illusion that this is how it works. It has always been like that, and that's the only way it's going to work. But that is not true. If you're anything like me, maybe just a little bit, you may also be sensing that this is outdated now. It has outlived itself. It's basically done. But the new way is not here yet in the way that we can just shift over, right? It's not like, okay, we can leave all that currency stuff behind. Now we're going to do it this way and everything is just, going to work out great. I don't see that happening overnight, but I do see, sense, and feel that there is a new energy that wants to come through. And guess how I know that? I can feel it in the longing. There's a longing for something new that's going to be more more balanced, more harmonious, more fair, easy, loving, connected, and that has just as much to do with our currency, finances, money, as it has to everything else. It's not like this wave of this new energy is just going to focus on one thing. No, it's going to color everything. It's going to dissolve everything that is now outdated, which is, of course, the false matrix, that false overlay that we have lived in and as if it's true. I have been talking to a number of my friends about this. It's just come up naturally in our conversations. Or maybe I started it by saying, I'm so tired of this matrix and this money, this chasing money, and there must be another way. And then most of them are like, yeah, this is not right anymore. And, it doesn't feel right to ask for money when I offered this. And I know in the coaching / marketing world, there has been also, a little bit like, well, that could be the wounded healer that has a hard time asking for money and things like that. But that is not necessarily true at all. I think that many of the healers and the light workers, they are feeling that this is not right. It's kind of sticky. It's just like, it's not right. And we have to listen to that, even if there is not a new way that's obvious for us yet. We're starting to feel that this old is falling apart, and we need to just, don't touch it. Don't touch it. And feel it, but don't touch it. Don't try and stick it back together. But just lean back and start feeling, well, what is true? What wants to come through? What is my heart longing for? What is this energy trying to tell me? That's what we did yesterday. Actually, I called in a little meeting with some of my friends so we could just talk about this and explore it and find out, well, what is here. And it was the most divine, beautiful meeting, because everybody felt it for sure. Otherwise, I would not have invited them. So we were on the same page, and nobody really knew how it's going to look, but we all knew that something else is coming in. And I used that example that I heard from Joel Goldsmith many years ago, when the horse buggies they were running out of enough horses for the horse buggies, and people were panicking. But they did not know that the Ford was actually about to come in and take over or add to what was there. So I feel that same energy, not a Ford here, but a new way is here, and that we need to make ourselves available for that. So in our little meeting, we talked about that. And gosh, it's just so beautiful when you really start feeling into that, because there's a longing for just to give, What if everybody started giving, and the currency is not money, but money can be used? But what if the currency gets a different flavor from now on, where it could be, it can be anything. It can be connection, it can be beauty, it can be support, it can be vegetables if you grow them. It can be in many, many forms. And I really want to invite us all to seriously start opening up to a new way, because it is here. Like I always say, the kingdom of heaven is spread all over the earth, and we cannot see it, but it is here. So that new way of exchange is already here. the kingdom of heaven is not missing anything. It's the fullness of its own fulfillment of what it already is. And that is what we're beginning to tap into. So let's take some time, take some time outside of this video and maybe connect with other friends of yours and have this conversation. Like we had it yesterday and everybody felt so fulfilled. And it's like, wow, this is a conversation that needs to be had. And it felt almost like, instead of we being alone with that, there were suddenly a number of us and we could it felt like something was opening up. It felt like we opened up our consciousness to this new energy to come through. And that's what I would like to encourage all of us to try out. Next time I meet with my friends, we're going to get a little more specific and a little more practical about it. Like how does it look? For instance, are we going to offer our services by donation? That's an option for sure. And does that mean that there is a minimum donation, or does it mean that they can get it for nothing? See, that's the things that we all need to find out how it works for us, given the situation we're in our current life. So it may be very different for somebody who has lots of means and can definitely work for free, no problem, or somebody who is struggling paying their bills, where they can't just say, yeah, I'll do it for free. So there's all these practical things that need to be addressed, and it's on an individual basis. So always it comes down to, what is it that we really want? How do we want to live this life? Do we have a vision where we need a certain amount of money to live a comfortable life? Nothing wrong with that. But it's when we go out there and try and make it happen or try and grasp it, then we're moving in the wrong direction. So as I've been talking about for so long now, the longing, right? So if there is a longing to live a comfortable, fulfilled, peaceful life, and if that feels like, there needs to be a certain amount of income, then we feel that energy behind us. It's like, yeah, this is how it looks for you, and for you it looks like this. So it's that God knows our needs before we do, and it is God's good pleasure to give it to us. So when we start feeling that here, we can let ourselves rest back into that. It's like that longing piece is really the divine showing us, like, yeah, here, honey, this is for you. Just open up to that longing. Just open up to feeling what it's like to live a comfortable life, where you don't have to worry about all these things, where it just shows up. Now, it's still maybe a long shot for most of us, but that should still not stop us from starting to bring our attention here and let it start coming out little at a time. Okay. Thank you for today, and let me know how that works for you.